Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Claire. Hi!
Okay.
Today we're gonna talk about something that I quite like. It looks really weird. I haven't flattened it out. Oh, I messed it up more. This is Harry Styles, kind of. This is a gift, okay? It was a Christmas gift. I didn't go out and buy this. I like Harry Styles a lot. Exhibit A and B here. I am a lover of books and a lover of music, especially Harry, and so I wanted to give you guys book recommendations based on the songs on Fine Line, which is his second album. It's really hard to pick a favorite between the self-titled album and Fine Line, but I think that no, I can't pick a favorite. Here we are. So I'm going to go through each song and do some recommendations. So let's jump right in. For Golden, which is track 1, I picked Twilight. Bear with me here. I picked Twilight because I think that Golden is about kind of the highs and lows of a new romance. The lyrics, like the song feels really happy, but when you listen to the lyrics, it is pretty melancholy actually, and kind of full of like angst. And so I feel like that's what Twilight is about. You know, Edward and Bella are so into each other, but also there's the pressures of him being a vampire, her being mortal, and the other vampires who aren't as nice as Edward, you know? So there's like a lot of issues that could arise. Golden is about like the honeymoon phase of a relationship. For Watermelon Sugar, I picked The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hoang. I picked this because Watermelon Sugar is like, you know, romance, loving, that summer feeling, and I did read this during the summer, so maybe that's kind of why. But I feel like this is about just like loving and sex. Come on. I feel like I was very naive to not think that there would be steamy parts when Michael is literally an escort. It's literally my fault. What The Kiss Quotient is about, it is about a girl named Stella who is on the autism spectrum, and she wants to learn how to love, so she consults Michael, who is a male escort. And, you know, they fall in love because they should. On a related note, I just can't listen to Watermelon Sugar that much anymore because I streamed it so much to get him to #1, and so like every time it comes on shuffle or on my vinyl, I'm just like, moving on. For track 3, which is Adore You, I picked The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, and I picked this because I feel like Adore You is about like that initial infatuation stage that you have with someone, and so Lucy and Joshua love to hate each other. So, and I think that, you know, you have that, I was about to say a fine line between love and hate. We're going to talk about that later. But they have such a strong connection, but also are so stubborn in themselves. What this is about Lucy and Joshua, who work for a publishing company that is like two companies that have come together, and they are picking someone to be in this one individual position. And so Lucy and Joshua are fighting for this position, and only one of them can get it. And you know, they have this game where they're so competitive with each other, but they realize like, wow, like I'm in love with this person. And so it's very slow burn, but I loved it, and that's why I feel like it's Adore You, because it's like at the end of the day they would do anything for each other. Am I spoiling it? I don't think so. But I also had a quote that I found that Harry said about Adore You, and I just wanted to read it because I thought that it was really cool. We wrote this in a day. We just had so much fun making it. They're usually the ones that end up kind of working the best, the ones where everyone's having fun making it. They kind of just write themselves. It was definitely a good experience making this song. Very excited to have it out. I'm sipping. I'm sorry. For Lights Up, I picked Song of Solomon by Morrison. So I think that Lights Up is such an important song because it has a lot to do with coming to terms with yourself and embracing that, not just coming to terms with it, but embracing it and stepping out into the light, you know, showing other people that you're unafraid of who you are. And Song of Solomon closely follows the hero's journey, I think, and also it follows a young man growing up and figuring out what it means to be an adult. So Song of Solomon is about a man named Milkman. I don't think that's his real name. I think that's a nickname. But it's about Milkman, and he goes on a hero's journey, basically, and he meets a bunch of different people, learns a lot about his own family, and the ending is my favorite ending of any book. I'm not going to explain it, because even if I did explain it now, you wouldn't, like, get it, because I barely get it. Toni Morrison is kind of labyrinth like that. But yeah, you should read it for sure. and I think it's just so beautiful, you know? So it's one of my favorite books, if you can't tell by the way I'm literally gushing about it. Next up is Cherry, and for that I picked Breakfast at Tiffany's by Truman Capote. This might not look like it makes sense, but okay, bear with me here. Holly Golightly is the protagonist of this novel, and she's kind of one of my favorite literary characters ever. She's so like she's so like flittery, is that a word? Like, she just kind of sprouts around through life, and maybe this book reminds me of Cherry because Holly will randomly say stuff in French. She's not French, but she thinks she's cultured like that, so she'll just randomly like spat out French, and maybe that reminds me a little bit of Cuckoo, about being so like low but you're still kind of cheerful, because I feel like if you didn't listen to the lyrics to Cherry, you could kind of just like, you know, and then you listen to it and you're like, oh, you know? So yeah, that's kind of the entire feeling of Breakfast at Tiffany's. You know, she goes to Tiffany's all the time just to feel happy, and she lives this glitzy life, but at her core, she's really like hollow, and I think that's what Cherry is as a song. Oh, my mind. Oh my god. Okay, that was good. Next up is Falling, and for Falling I picked The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I think this song is just, if Cherry can give you a little bit of you know, bop happiness, Falling reminds you, no, we're not happy right now. Agony about perhaps unrequited love, and this just reminds me so greatly of The Great Gatsby, because even though so The Great Gatsby is about this guy named Nick who comes to New York to live with his cousin, or no, he comes to New York to write, but he meets up with his cousin a lot, and his cousin is married to this trash guy, and she used to have a love affair with this guy who lives across the water from them, and so Nick gets the two together, and then everything goes crazy. I think that Falling reminds me of it because, like, well, the ending is so tragic, but also just the feeling of knowing that your love will never be your love anymore because they're with someone else, and that is probably a painful feeling. I wouldn't know it. For To Be So Lonely, my favorite song on this album. I could go to war for it. I could go to war for it, especially the Tiny Desk version. Anywho, I picked Call Me By Your Name. I don't like the themes in Call Me By Your Name so much because of the age gap. I'm just not in love with it, and I'm not in love with the love story between Oliver and Elio. I would have loved if Elio was at least like 2 years older, you know? But I can't like deny that it's beautifully written, and I've got a lot of thoughts, if you can see. But anyways, I picked this for To Be So Lonely because it's about grief and loss of love, but also in To Be So Lonely, Harry talks about how he like basically cheated. We're gonna talk about that one day, but I just feel like this is like, especially the chorus when he says don't call me baby again, like the end of Call Me By Your Name, like wow, that is so like plot heavy. And Call Me By Your Name is about a boy named Elio who lives in Italy. His dad is a college professor, and Oliver is this guy who is living with them for the summer as a he's working under Elio's dad, I think, doing research, and so Elio's obsessed with Oliver, okay? And then they kind of start a love affair. Things go great, things go wrong, but overall it's very controversial because of the age gap between Elio and Oliver, and I am part of that group that thinks it's weird. Yeah, and I think that it shouldn't be as praised as it is, but I'm also putting it in a recommendation video, so take that with a grain of salt, I suppose. Next one is She. I love this song, but it's so gosh darn ambiguous. Who knows what this song is about? Like, I tried to look it up for actually a while because this was the one where I couldn't listen to it and kind of get the themes from it. Like, I had to look up genius.com just to try to figure out, like, what is this song about? And so I kind of took my own free royalty with it, and I picked A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallaro. I picked it because of the strong female protagonist in this book. I think that Charlotte, is just so strong and so like impressive and cool and funny and beautiful, and so I just would pick this because I think she embodies like the pure femininity and just badassery that is the 6 or 7 minutes of She. So yeah, I love this book. It is about Sherlock Holmes's great-great-great-granddaughter solving a crime that she was accused of, and I loved it. I'm gonna read the rest of the series, so that's my recommendation for She. Hey besties, editing right now. I don't know if you noticed, but that bracelet that I'm wearing actually is patterned after that like $1,400 cardigan that he wore that we were all obsessed with. Also got that on Etsy. The obsession continues. Okay, anyways. Next song is Sunflower Volume 6. I love this song, guys. I love this song a lot. I actually loved this song so much that I bought something about it. So this is my merch that I bought on Etsy from Redmond C Embroidered, I believe. So it's not like Harry affiliated, but inspired by Harry. And it says, you can't see it, I'm gonna fall. It says, "Your flowers just died." For this, I picked Lovely War by Julie Berry. I picked this because this is literally about Aphrodite picking people to fall in love with each other. It's just about love with in World War I. This book is like a dream. Like, it feels dreamy when you read it. It's a chunky, girl, but I actually got through it pretty quickly. Love, 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 love. And that's what I think Sunflower Volume 6 is about. So the next one is Canyon Moon. For Canyon Moon, I picked Daisy Jones and the Six. I picked Daisy Jones and the Six because, well, honestly, when I listened to the audiobook, which I would recommend, it just felt very reminiscent of something, and then I realized it was Harry, and then I realized that it reminded me of Harry because it's based on Stevie Nicks. And I was like, the math is mathing. Like, it makes sense at this point. Daisy Jones and the Six is about a girl named Daisy Jones and her band that she collaborated with and became like a joint band with. And it's like a memoir of a fictional band. And so, you know, you got like the different voices going on, and the ending is really cool. I really liked the ending. It's really like beautiful. And I picked this for Canyon Moon because I think that Canyon Moon is about like bittersweet reminiscence, and I think that's what Daisy Jones and the Six is about. It's about these older musicians that are reminiscing about their like time as a band and the romances that they went through and the issues that they went through. And I think that Canyon Moon is like kind of like that because it's another song that sounds like super happy, but it's just like reminiscing on a time when you were happier. And I think that's really interesting and something that those two really share together. And also something that Harry said about this song. He said that it's Crosby, Stills, and Nash on steroids. I agree. The next song, I actually don't get why people don't like this song because I really do enjoy it. Treat People with Kindness. I don't get why people don't like it. I like it. Maybe it's not like the best on the album, but like, y'all slander it, and I don't get why. I picked 3 books. This was another Etsy purchase. I love Etsy. TPWK. I think it's so cute. It's so cute. Shut up. I picked Sister Outsider by Audre Lorde. We Should All Be Feminists by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Between the World and Me by Ta-Nehisi Coates. I picked these because I think that the overall message of Treat People with Kindness is literally in the title. It's just about like having a good time and not offending others. And so I took that opportunity to recommend some nonfiction books. These are very popular nonfiction books about race and feminism. So I'm not, you know, showing you a hidden gem, but I think that if you are to read nonfiction, you should read these. They're all relatively short. I suppose you could say that they're dense in content, but I don't care. I think you should read it. The last song is the title track, which is Fine Line. Another Etsy purchase. Can you see it? You can see it now. Yeah? For Fine Line, I'd recommend, this is a big girl, sorry. These are 2 books in one. I'd recommend Wuthering Heights, which is by Emily Bronte. And I picked Wuthering Heights because I'm putting this away because it's kind of heavy. I would recommend Wuthering Heights for Fine Line because it's dancing on the fine line of adoration and kind of going overboard and kind of going into resentment and how you can maneuver that, be alright. I picked Wuthering Heights because Heathcliff and Kathy, yeah, all about like being all into someone while also balancing yourself and what that fine line is. So I thought that this is just like very interesting. Wuthering Heights is a classic, so it is a little bit difficult to read, at least for me. I still think it's a really good story, and I'm sure you can find like an audiobook of it or something like that that is a bit easier to consume. So yeah, that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching this far. Love to do it. It's kind of my favorite thing in the world. I think that this album is so incredible and has so much to do with not only love, but understanding of self and identity and being able to kind of grapple with your past, which is just like, like, subscribe, comment if you disagree with me, if you agree with me, if you have a different recommendation for any of these books, I would love to hear what you thought about what these books kind of correlate to in literature. I think that would be super cool. So, from me and him. Oh, I also have this. Why did I get this? I don't know. I didn't order his merch. I don't know why I was sent this, but I was. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.